Welcome back from another video. In this one we're going to take a look at my analog clone systems here. This is just, so I'll show the Mega SG, the Analog Super NT. These are all 1080p systems. And new to this collection is my Analogue Pocket. We'll start off with the Super NT. Unbox it. I keep them in the original boxes because it's just easier that way for me. Each one comes with a manual. This comes with Super Turk and I think 1 and 2. I think Super Turk and Director's Cut for the first game. Whoops. So yeah, it just shows the system, the back, some instructions on how to plug it up and just play it. I mean, it's very easy. So yeah, the Super NT. I got the black version, and this is not from the last run. This is from I believe from the first run, production run. There was 3 different runs, I believe. Supposedly they're not going to make anymore. That's what they've said. I kind of doubt that. But anyways, you have the power button, analog logo, reset button, cartridge slot, which holds the game in pretty well, 2 controller ports, your HDMI port, and power port. There's the bottom of it. It's weighted down pretty well, so you're not gonna yank this thing off your system if you end up tripping on a cord or something. I have a 16 gig memory card for firmware updates. I don't have, this thing is just stock as far as, you know, modifications. I don't have any I don't have this thing jailbroken, excuse me, to play the games off the SD card. Some people have done that. I considered it, but decided not to since I have flashcards for Genesis and Super Nintendo and other systems. But so yeah, I love this system. I mean, the games look great on my old 1080p TV and the new 4K TV. Really no complaints. It sound great too. I'm gonna see how this system sounds through my new soundbar that I purchased about a week ago. Very excited to do that. I want to get back to playing Super Nintendo games on this system. Just haven't done that in a little while. At least since I got my 4K TV, I tested out just about everything on it. I mean, everything new. So let's move on to the Mega SG. This has the analog logo imprinted into the box a little bit more than the other Super NT box. So yeah, that's the black edition. There were different versions of the systems, different colors. They just had, you know, different regions, but they would work in all regions, and all the games would work as well. I have my 16 gig card for the Mega SG here as well for firmware updates. I need to update both of those. Here's the system right quick. This is a Japanese edition, or Japanese color edition. It'll play both regions of games. Does not come with this controller. That's the 8-bit Do. I think it's SG30 controller. It's got the spacer for the Sega CD, and it does have the, still have the Mega or Master System adapter, which that's just proprietary to this system. It's not something that Sega made back in the day, and they're not using parts from that. But this comes with what is it? Ultra Core built in to the system. I mean, you can still play the game off flash card or even a cartridge, which that's what I have for it. I have a fan-made cartridge. But yeah, love the blues in this thing, as well as the blues in the system startup logo, and the Super NT has that as well. Unfortunately, the Pocket does not have all that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So you got the power button, reset button, cartridge slot, and then it tells you this thing is a 1080p product, similar to the Model 1 Genesis, the HD graphics version. I have one of those, and then a non HD graphics Model 1. Here's the Analogue logo. Here's the back. It's pretty cool. They decided to do a grid on this. Just get a little creative on here. Designed by designing USA and UK. So made in China. So I'll show the back. Once again, the Analogue logo is back there. We got the HDMI and power port. The power plug for this system and wire, they're the same for the Super NT and the Mega SG. You can use either one to plug in either system. They're the same. Pretty sure they're the same specs in terms of electrical needs. So yeah, cartridge slot, nice glossy band there, and the controller ports here, 2 on the front, and the headphone jack. But yeah, games look just incredible coming out of this thing. The sound as well. You can tinker with the sound on both these systems to, emulate the different models and how they sounded. I don't mind the sound of the original, so I think that's what's preset on here from the factory. It has this the sound output sounds like it's coming from from the original Super Nintendo. You can tinker with it and make it sound more like maybe the second model of NES or second revision, board revision. So yeah, there you go. And then same with this thing. It has this one. Is configured to sound like a Model 1, I believe. And then you can mess with it and make it sound like the Model 2 Genesis. Sorry about that little flub up, but it just kind of explains the Super NT as well. But yeah, you can mess with the video output settings for it. This thing goes down all the way down to 480p, from 1080p all the way down to 480p. You can play the games in HD at 60 frames per second or not. You can mess with the colors and whatnot, and the firmware did fix some issues with the Super NT colors, the colors outputting to the your television, and a firmware update. But yeah, I do need to update both these systems, like I said, but these are just great systems. Hoping they will continue to make these throughout the years, kind of off and on. I was tempted to buy some extra systems. I think they're still on. Maybe you can still pre-order one of these systems, either of them, but get them while you can if you don't have one. These are a great HD solution for the older consoles they represent. So yeah, there's those. The premium boxes too. They're, just very, very nice. Kind of leathery feeling in a way, kind of rubbery, I don't know how to explain the materials they use, but yeah. And then lastly, the Analogue Pocket. Mine just arrived about a month ago, and I played with it quite a bit. Messed with some of the settings, updated the firmware. Let's just take a look at the box. So you got the Analogue Pocket. They decided to just do a more snazzy looking sticker, a little more streamlined this time. I kind of wonder if they did the same thing with the new boxes for the Super NT and Mega SG. Analogue logo on the bottom tells you what came with the system on this sticker. The Analogue Pocket, and mine is black with the USB-C cable, and I just use my phone charger, and even the cable that came with, because it's USB-C, to charge this thing, and it works fine. I haven't had any hiccups from that. So let's show the system. I don't have the dock. I might order that. I don't know. This thing came with the cable, and so there's my system. I believe I just left the screen protector on there. Yeah, I left the screen protector on there that it came with from the factory. It can be pulled up though. There's that little tab there to pull it off. But yeah, all black system. There's the FPGA logo there. It's FPGA system, and all these have are FPGA emulation. So they're hardware emulation. They're not software. So the games run pretty much identical and perform as they would on their respectable original systems in these things on these FPGA consoles. But you got the directional pad. It's got a good weight to it. Very hefty. It feels, like a premium product in your hand, and that's what it really is. And you have volume and power. Wait. Yes, volume and power. Left speaker, right speaker. So this thing has stereo sound. That's very cool. Now on the back end, got the analog logo, and this is where you can put your cartridges. Mine is just, I didn't buy any of the adapters. I might get the Game Gear one. I may get some Game Gear games because I never owned them. So out of the box, I can play Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. So that's what I use on it. The buttons feel great, better than an original Game Boy. Of course, the screen is, much higher resolution. It's on par with like some of your really good high-end phones, like the Samsung 22 Ultra, or the Google phones and all that kind of stuff. But I think people are trying to figure out a way just to use this thing as a streaming device. They may someday. But yeah, all the games I play on it sound great, look great. They just look fantastic. You can see all the little individual pixels. It's just incredible. A lot of fun. It really reinvigorated my interest in the Game Boy line of video games. Been buying some, and I'll show some in a pickups video here later on this year. Just gonna kind of keep buying them because they're pretty inexpensive right now. So, and I know when this system came out, it really upped the interest in Game Boy games, and I think Nintendo saw that, and they decided to release some of those games, or some Game Boy games, Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games on the Switch Online service, which is a paid subscription service for those of you that don't know. Obviously, there's not every game on there because they have to do some work to get those to play within their emulators for the Switch. But yeah, anyways, great system. Well worth it if you're into the older games. You don't have these older game systems. But this came in white as well. I think you can sync up USB controllers to this thing, which is also cool. I may get the dock later on. I don't know. It's just $100, and I have other ways to play these games on my high def TV, which are equally as good. But So that is the Analog collection, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Look forward to more collection videos like this coming soon. So yeah, thank you for watching and subscribing.